It's time for Video Game Replays!
Hello, and thank you for joining us on this episode of Video Game Replay. My name is Larry. Joining me is my co-host Aiden.
What's up, guys? Dill from the building. We got other co-host CJ up top as well.
Here I am on top. I'm normally not that tall, but I'm the tallest one in the building today. So good to be back.
It's just because you got a stool, that's all it is. But we're excited to be here this week. I don't know where you're at in the world, but it got warm, so I actually seen the sun a little bit, warmed up my shoulders. It's gonna be cold as hell again this weekend, but that's all right. I got a couple days in, got a chance to thaw out for a minute, but besides that, we got some great stuff happening. We are going to talk about The Legend of Zelda this week, but first out, let's talk about what you've been playing otherwise. So I guess I'll start with the tall man of the hour. CJ, what you been into? What you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Life and Work Simulator. Had a nice little work trip that was pretty cool. Went down to Florida, over whichever way it is. Went to Florida. Got to meet some of our repair guys. It was cool, fun time. Sat at the bar a little bit. Got a nice juicy steak. Nice little Sunday to Wednesday trip. But I'm back better as ever. And the weather, like you said, it's been good. It was good there. It's good here. It's felt like sunshine outside. I didn't wear a hoodie today, and it was awesome. So
Yeah.
Not much on the video game front, but Aiden, can you please do better than that?
Well, I can't really tell you a whole much on the life front because I've just been working and sleeping and eating and shitting. But on the video game front, I've been going to town. I've actually been gaming like a lot for some reason. I'm still in my Minecraft phase a little bit. I'm in Minecrafting it up. I'm advancing to a part where I'm making some automatic farms. I'm in the late game now. I could definitely beat the Ender Dragon if I wanted to, but still got some other people that need to catch up to me.
Come on, man! I was out of town. Come on!
I've just been working around the world. I've been playing. I'm not sure if you guys heard of Marvel Rivals. I know CJ has.
It's all right.
It's one of the newer hero shooters. It's like Overwatch, not an exact clone, but a little bit of a clone. But it's really popular right now. I've been playing that a lot. I'm almost diamond, so I'm grinding up the ranks. Almost diamond in that. I've been playing that a lot actually. That's probably my most played game. Other than a little Zelda action, I've also been playing this game I discovered and become addicted to. It's called Balatro, I believe it's what it's called. It's like a card game. You play against a computer and you have different builds for cards. Dude, it is badass. I'm probably going to play it tonight, probably tomorrow. It is a great game. I might have a little solo video coming on here later if I like it enough. Little foreshadowing, but really good game. Larry, do you have any other gaming or life stories that's been going on the past week?
Well, I'm going to back up. I've heard of this Balatro before, and it seems really interesting. I heard it's like it doesn't have like any like pay to play, any gotcha mechanics, any of those things. No. But what are you playing it on? I mean, what's
you can play it. It's on every platform. I'm pretty sure it's even on console. I've been playing it on mobile for the most part on my iPad, but it's pretty much you have this deck of cards, and each round there's a blind. So you're playing against this blind that's like, say if it's 300 chips, then you need to say if you play a 9, it's worth 9 chips. But if you play like a straight, it's a set of poker hand. Like if you play a straight, then it's like every point in your hand combined, like multiplied, because a straight is a bigger hand. It's a bigger multiplier. And then after you beat this blind, you go on to the next blind. But before you do that, there's a shop where you can buy little special cards that affects your hand. Like you can say like there's a Joker card that you can put, and you have 5 Joker cards at a time. And there's a Joker card you can put in your hand. If you play a straight, your multiplier goes up by 4 and stuff like that. And there's a ton of different Joker cards that you can like really build. And there's some builds I've seen that are insane. I can't even fathom it. It literally goes up to like the normal blind is like 3,000, or I mean 300, and you can eventually, if you go up, like you make it really far in your run, you can fight something that's like 30,000 chips, and like you get really high. But there's people that get that their bosses, they're so far into the game, they have the boss's number has like exponents. It's like
Oh,
it's
God.
like 200 EC12. Like it's so big, and it's like, oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
It's like you guys are so far into this game. I seem like a chump. But yeah, the game's really fun. There's a lot of strategy to it, but you have to, and there's a big learning curve. I'm still coming around that hump.
Like I said, the things I've heard about it, it does seem like it's ridiculously deep, but also really fun. Like it's like fantasy, but yet poker and all that kind of all
Yeah.
whipped together. So I don't know. I may have to get a shot. Like you say, it's free to play? I think. Yeah, no, maybe.
No, I'm not sure what it is on Steam, but on iOS it's $10. But I've
Okay,
heard
well.
it's up for, I think it's up for a Game of the Year award or something. But
That's
it's
up
really
my
worth
alley,
it.
Yeah, I'd get into it. Poker and fantasy, and my fantasy and poker is winning $1 million. I mean, let's do it.
I have no issue with paying for a game that doesn't make me pay for more of it to play it later. So I mean,
Exactly, a
I'm
one-time
always
purchase.
down for that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I even do a little DLC, but I can't stand the 99 cents here, $2 there. Just don't nickel and dime me. I got kids. I don't need that shit.
Yeah, it's those games like 2K, which I play every once in a while, but it's so heavily paid to win. You can
Yeah.
pretty much
Yeah,
you
it
can
is.
play legit and take months and months to level up your character to a 90, or you can pay $50 and instantly get them to 90. So it's like it's
As
fun
you've
once you
done
get to a
multiple
certain point.
times.
As I've done multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm
Here you go. Yeah. Here's my money.
I've-
Here's my money.
Yeah.
I've been feeding EA. I've been putting the employees. I've been putting food on their tables. Pretty much
Actually,
solely by myself.
Forgive me. Is 2K still even? That ain't EA, is it? That's Sega, isn't it? Or
I'm
does EA buy it?
2K Sports
pretty sure
now.
it's I thought it was still owned by EA.
I thought it was 2K Sports now was different. I could be totally wrong.
It could be their
I
own
could be as
side thing
well.
that's owned up, but either way, yeah, that's all they want
But
your
it-
wallet. Either way,
It's if it is EA, it makes complete sense because that's right up their alley to milk every
EA
dime that you can possibly
has
spend.
not bought 2K, so no, it has not officially become EA, is what Reddit says as of
Oh,
August
shit.
28th, 2024.
Okay.
Is Madden?
Might as well, yeah.
Now you got me
Might as well
thinking.
just merge, Might
yeah,
as well
Madden's
just
still
merge.
EA. I know that. That's definitely for sure.
Interesting. I definitely thought 2K was.
But let's see here.
Yeah.
Gaming wise, I've played a little bit. For those who may or may not caught it, I did live stream the game of the week this week, so I got a couple nights of that in, and thank you for anyone who came out and watched that. But on the side, I've been playing a game that I picked up on the Xbox 360 back in the day. It's been remastered for the Switch. It's called Mark of the Ninja. It's a stealth platformer where basically your ninja has to hide in the shadows, and you get to pull all these different slide kills out and stuff. It's not aggressive like Ninja Gaiden. It's like I say, it's just kind of pop out of the shadows, figure your way to get around the bad guy and all that stuff. And I got soft lock on the last boss on my 360 save, which really sucks because you can kind of in that one I know you can like save it at any point, and I got saved to a point where as soon as I unsave it, I get attacked, and then the boss comes in. So and there's no way to get out of it, and then I'm just pissed off and I walked away from it. But this one here, I've got to the last level in just the past week. I put that kind of time into it. Been thinking really hard about going back and picking up. My wife had gotten me the Lego Star Wars Saga. I really need to play that before I get busy again. I started it, but just at the time wasn't catching me. And like I said, I've got some. I don't say I've got much time, but I definitely got an urge to play something that's going to take a little time before I get to the end of it.
I feel similar about that. The camera angle to me just feels off. I don't know if that's what it is, but it feels like I'm weirdly not where I want to be camera angle wise. So it just makes me not want to play that game as much, especially compared to the old ones. But maybe it's just me.
I love the game. I love the story. I got tired of the grinding for different Lego parts. That's I
fair.
didn't need to go searching for that, which I get part of it so you can find other characters and other things and you can buy them, but it's like just can I just find a vault of like 1,000,000 Lego pieces and move on, please?
Right.
So, outside of that, yeah, I've been pretty much just working and doing the normal things as we do, because that's what I got to do in my old age, is go through all those things. Trying to think, I thought there was another game I've been playing this week, but I have been, but I haven't been. I'm still playing this Turmoil, which was a free game from Epic Games a while back. And it's just a oil driller kind of pass the time game, but usually I've been doing that between watching. I'm catching up on the Young Rock. Because
Okay.
Turmoil is a good game to like watch TV on, because you can kind of just pause it and watch it. I did start Reacher season 3. If you haven't seen Reacher, it's on Amazon Prime. Watch it.
My mom and dad's been watching that. I think they're watching it right now. Actually, that's weird.
Yeah, I need to catch up on it, and somewhere I started Invincible. I'm gonna have to give it some time, but man, that show's fucking awesome. I would.
Dude,
Okay.
Invincible's. I've watched the first season of that. I haven't watched the newer seasons that just came out, but
Mhm.
dude, that show is legit. It's a cartoon, but it's for sure adult. Like you would not want your kids watching
No,
some of the shit that goes on in that show.
no, I haven't even got real deep into that one. Like I say, I started it, and then it said Reacher's on. I'm like, oh well, sorry, Reacher's getting priority at the moment, because I'm season 3 deep into Reacher, but I ended up aside. I will go ahead and catch up on the Reacher, give Visible the time it needs to. But I like Invincible enough at this point that I'll almost put enough effort in to be making a podcast show on it. But
Oh,
I'm so far
shit.
behind on it. Oh, dude, if you got
It's
Prime,
legit,
dude,
dude.
it's worth your. That's what you pay
Okay.
Prime for, is that, not the fucking shipping. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I don't use the shipping enough.
Or if
No.
you have access to a PC with ad block, you can watch it for free. But
If you know,
Subjective
you know,
morals
right?
kind of thing,
if you
yeah.
know, you know.
I will mention one thing, Larry. You reminded me, Aiden. You might remember from last year. I wanted to go see Phantom Menace in theaters for the anniversary, and Larry, you ended up blowing me off too. Aiden blew me off. Kean blew me off. I went by my damn self. I wore my Darth Maul watch. That's pretty fucking cool. It's somewhere around here. And April 25th, my favorite movie of all time is returning to theaters, Revenge of the Sith. And you have no idea. When I read that, I might have poked a hole through every bit of clothing I had on, dude. I was so excited. They're releasing it in 4DX for the first time, and I've never watched a 4D movie,
wow.
but I think I'm gonna do it. Like I found the closest place. It's like an hour and a half away. I'm going. I'm gonna reserve the tickets. Hopefully they play it. I'm so excited. I might go every day of the week. Like I'm so excited for this. You have no clue. This is probably the movie I've seen the most in my life, so I'm super hyped.
One, I sincerely apologize. I did blow you off on the Phantom Menace. I do. I mean, I'd like to have gone and seen that, and I should have went with you. So, forgive me. I am not a good friend. I've learned that in my old age. I'm just not a good friend.
I will
Um,
say, I don't apologize for blowing you off. No, I'm just kidding.
It's
No,
fine. A couple people met me up there halfway through the movie, but it was fine. I enjoyed it no matter
was-
what. So
yeah, it was all my family was in, and they were going out to eat. So it's like, and Larry wasn't going or Keen wasn't going. So I was like, you know what? I'm
Hey.
gonna go out to eat.
shout out Larry for giving me a heads up though. You let me know like 30 minutes to an hour before. You're like, ah man, we're still eating. I'm not going. Larry's like, hey man, at like 8 a.m. Hey man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it happen tonight.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go, but I was riding with my family and I went out to eat and I was like, dude, it's like 7 o'clock already. I'm not gonna be able to make it.
yeah.
So
That's early for you.
That sounded like a, hey, fuck
and
you.
to
I
be
found better
fair-
things to do.
to be fair, I probably got up at 5 p.m. So I probably at that point I've only been up for a couple hours to let you know. But
Well, again, one, yeah, the episode 3 coming out. I'm psyched about it. Like saying, if that works out, I've got to try to figure out how to go see it, because I think I've only seen it in the movie theaters once in my life too. Episode
It's
1,
my favorite movie, but I couldn't. I wasn't old enough. It like came out like right after a few years after I was born. I didn't see it until probably later that year.
You fucking
out in what?
serious right now?
Came out in
There's no way
05,
you're serious, dude.
and I was
Wow.
3, so I didn't go see it in theaters because I don't think I had caught
I
up
was
yet.
born
I
in
started
05.
watching when I was
I
3 or
might not
4.
have been born yet.
Okay, well, I now you make me feel old. I went episode 1 came out when I was in trade school, and
99.
my one of my teachers, basically, he tried to teach us C++ programming, and he gave it the old college try. And after about a week, he's like, "Yeah, guys, I can't fucking do this. Sorry. If you check in with me, I'll give you the points and you can get through the class. But I can't really teach you anything." And lo and behold, where I was going, there was a cinema just right up the road. And guess what? They started playing at 12 o'clock every damn day. Happened to be episode 1. So I got to go watch episode 1 because I had a hour-long lunch with a hour-and-a-half class after that I didn't have to be at. And I had him the class after that. So if I showed up after that class, like, "Hey, dude, I was here." He's like, "Okay, fine. That works out." So I watched that movie fucking 2-3 dozen times. And the movie theater I watched that up there was the best one I ever watched it in, only because they did the sound correctly. The race where the pod race and in our local theater the town we lived in, it was just loud as around you. At that theater I went to watch it in, when Saboba came up behind you, you could hear that Mack truck behind you.
So nice.
You could hear it coming at you, and you'd hear the shit flying by you and all that stuff. Done perfectly. Every other movie theater I watched in between here and there just sounded like shit. I mean, it sounded okay, but you just didn't have the stuff flying by you like it was supposed to.
Not the same.
No. And I even worked at the movie theaters locally at that time of year, so I even but they made us pay to go watch it. I'm like, well, if I gotta go pay to watch it, I'm going up here and watch it. Screw you guys.
Right. Go to the good one.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
But all right, well, we got more pressing questions, more pressing things to get into. So let's get into our question of the week. There's music here. You all can't hear it. I can't hear it either, so it works out. So this week I dug into it deep, and seeing how we're looking at with Legend of Zelda playing this week, I figured, hey, you know what? This is an adventure type. So let's talk about what is your worst journey, trip, or adventure that you can recall. Does anyone want to volunteer to go first, or should I just pick CJ since he's most recently traveled?
Yeah, I guess I'll volunteer since either way it's going to be me. I could probably flip a 3-sided coin. I'll go through one really quick. It's not that big a deal. I'm looking for somewhere to swim, hit a pothole because I was pissed off going like 40, pop my tire, no service. That sucked. Go through the other one really quick too. Smoked a fox one night coming back from a college, just hanging out. Got about 90 miles an hour, went through my radiator, bent it to a V shape. Not fun. I was about like 2 miles from the exit to get home, and we sat on the interstate in like 20-degree temperatures instead for 4 hours. Mom said, "Figure it the fuck out. You shouldn't have been doing that." Probably right.
Go,
my
Mom.
true horror story. Yeah, my true horror story. So when I moved, I was coming back to the home state because I left my car, as you guys know, and so I flew. My connecting flight was in Boston, and well, what did we do when we landed in Boston? Spirit Airlines, the finest delicacy in the world. We landed and we sat on the runway for 2 hours in the plane, and we're like, well, there's just nowhere to dock. Mind you, my connecting flight left in about an hour after I landed, so I missed that, and
Nice.
waited in line for about 20 minutes, talked to the lady right outside of my gate when I got there. She said I had to go up to the people up front, so I left, got out of, through security the reverse way, so I couldn't enter back without a valid ticket. Go, and I'm wait in line for another 40 minutes, finally get up there, and I'm acting like a Karen at this point, because they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we really can't do anything." They're like, basically, we can let you get a flight tomorrow. This was about 8 p.m. They're like, we can get you a flight tomorrow at 8 p.m. It'll go to Florida, and you'll be at Tampa for 12 and a half hours with a layover, and then you'll go to where you're going. And I was like, I'm losing like 2 days here. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. And they're like, well, we can't reimburse for a hotel either. So I'm like, absolutely not. So I'm pissed off, act like a Karen for like an hour, get nowhere. I ended up getting $45 total for 2 tickets back. So that was awesome. I had to buy a flight from JetBlue. Shout out JetBlue. My experience was good. It was a very nice plane. And I finally got home. I made it to my mother's house at about 3:30 in the morning, and I was exhausted. And I also once got stuck in the Baltimore airport because I missed my flight overnight. That's a scary place to be, so don't do that either. But yeah, that was my horror story. That shit was
Baltimore and overnight. Yeah, you've already got me fucking chilled, dude. I like it.
I didn't make it through security in that one yet either. So there was genuine homeless people walking around, and they'd have to like push them out and shoo them away. And like I had to find like I was almost in the bathroom, almost in like, hey, employees only, kind of in the corner. And anytime anybody walked by, I'd kind of give them this puppy dog look like I'm terrified. I'm like, please don't make me move. Please don't make me move. Like, it was miserable. It was miserable.
Well, note to self: don't fly.
Yeah.
Aiden, how about you, man? Did you come up with any sort of horrific stories to share?
Well, I don't have as many stories because I am on the younger side of traveling in
Yeah.
any planes or any really far destination. I've never drove that far on my own anyway. I know CJ isn't a guy that he's a guy that will drive 16 hours, and I've
Right,
probably
baby.
I've never driven for more than 3 hours at a time. Uh, I would say one story. This one includes Larry. Uh, it includes Larry and some of my other family members while we were camping. And
Uh-huh.
there's this trail. It was called the Stone Trough Trail at a campsite that we are a couple years back. And we're just like we're with the family. We got the kids. We got the grandparents. We're like, let's go on this little hiking trail. Some of the other people said it's a nice trail. Like, okay, we'll go. We didn't really bring much. We're like, we'll just go on this trail. My dad actually brought his bike. He was like, oh, we'll just bike up a trail. And we should have known about 10 minutes in. You're like walking and following the dots they have blue dots on the trees that you're supposed to follow for the trail. We should have known when about 10 minutes in there's a there's a climb that's like just straight like this up, and we're like, oh, that's weird for this to be on this nice little lovely trail. So we
Yeah.
go, we go up there. My dad actually has to leave his bike. He tries, but he's just like, I gotta leave my bike here. It was not a dangerous place. I don't think people are gonna be stealing bikes. He was like, I'm just gonna leave it here. We'll come back to it. And lo and behold, about an hour later, we're like, man, we thought this was gonna be like a half an hour trip. What is going on here? And like we don't even have water or nothing. I mean, we have like a bottle of water that everyone's rationing.
Yeah.
And the point of this trail was to see this old historical stone trough that was there a while ago. And as we're going on this trail, how long do you think it had until we got to the trail? How long do you think it was?
The whole trail or till we get to the trough?
Till we got to the trough.
2 hours? Maybe.
Dude, 2 hours. We thought it was going to be like a small hike we were going to do before dinner. And
Yeah.
this 2 hours, we finally reached this gay little trough. It's just like a little stone trough, smaller than a bathtub. It was
Oh, dude. No. It was literally, let me draw that picture. It was a stone trough, which the best way to describe it looked like a 12 by 16 box. That was it.
a trough.
And we had to
And-
guess if that was what it was, too.
And it was he's like, is this the stone trough? What is going on here? I mean, this is a trough for baby donkeys or something. This is not a trough for any. You can have about one horse drink out of this trough before it's gone.
Yeah.
So we're on this treacherous. I don't know what the elevation is at this point because I feel like we've gone up and up and up and down and up and up and up. But we have little water with this little. We have our grandparents with us. We have at the point my cousin, which was younger at the time. It was a bit of a nightmare. How long do you think it was altogether? Finally coming out of the trail.
Dude, my brain wants to say like 3.5, but also my soul wants to say like 5. But it was, the way I picture it, I think it was supposed to be like a 45-minute loop, maybe an hour loop. And we literally spent, 3 to 4 hours on it. Easy.
Yeah, and it was not an easy trail either. There was literally like points where like we had to like pull my grandparents up. Like we were like hanging over, pull my grandparents up this like part.
We
Like,
did do team building like the army does. Like you make it a chain, like you hold on to the tree and I hold on to you while you grab down there and grab them.
literally, like, and this is like a friendly, like casual campsite with like playgrounds and stuff. This wasn't like a in the mountains campsite. We were like, what the hell is this? We were so confused, but we came out of the trail. We got to the camper, chugged a couple bottles of water each. But yeah, it was a fun time. But at the time, it was not. It was not so fun.
I think it's the one thing that really brought us all together as one family because basically it was like we at one point were deciding who the hell we were going to eat. Like who do we sacrifice here? It's like not me because I'm an old smoker and I taste terrible, so we're not eating me. But yeah, I mean, I do distinctly remember that's from that point forward. Every time we took a hike, regardless of where the hell the fucking trail was, I carry a backpack that has a first aid kit, a little survival pack, a knife, and a minimum 4 bottles of water. At minimum. Because we went up there, I remember, like I said, my family of 4 people went with one, maybe 2 bottles of water, and probably by the time we hit the trough, we're at this point like, here's the cap. You can have a cap sip. We didn't know where the hell we were going to get back, even versus like where the hell we were. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because I think about 3 hours in, we were like, "Are we lost?" Like, we were like, "What time are we going to be back?" Like, this could actually get bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
that's
I actually,
terrifying.
I do carry a life straw now too when we go hiking, which that's one of those things you're supposed to be able to stick it in the mud and drink the water out of it without it getting any
Yeah.
bacteria or anything to you. So, life changing event, and actually that was definitely in my mind of shit that I didn't want to go with, but. So with that, I guess I had to remember some other things. I do recall when I was younger, one of my buddies, don't know why, but we had to go to, for some reason decided he was going to drive up to his aunt's house, which after I got the car, I found out was 3 counties away from here. And he's driving an old 1980s Omega, which the only thing that means to me is it's like the last fully made American car, I think. With bald tires. One guy who's freaking out the whole time because it started raining really heavy. Like, we're gonna hydroplane, we're gonna die. It's like, no, don't be saying that shit. And this motherfucker's driving like 80 the whole time to get there. That was a bad one. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, there's several different ones, but like I said, Aiden definitely hit the one. I think it jumped in and took all the trauma to my brain up to the front side there. That was definitely a bad day of it. I will say, my first time on a plane, I did travel from Pittsburgh to Atlanta. Atlanta is fucking huge.
Yeah,
That was a 2 hour.
sucks, dude.
That was a 2 hour flight. That's my first time ever on an airplane. My second one was from Atlanta to Tokyo, Japan. 20-hour flight.
That's rough.
Oh, dude, it was you kind of get used to it after about 12 hours, realizing at least if we die, we're gonna hit land because they went up the coast and went back down.
Yeah.
Minimize the whole possibility of dying in the ocean, kind of thing. But the weird thing is we were heading to Thailand, and from Tokyo to Thailand was only about a 5 hour trip. I'm a big guy. At the time, I wasn't as big, but at that time I was probably like 5'8", 250. I'm not small. The guy sitting next to me was every bit of a 6'7" Amish dude who had to weigh 400 fucking pounds. I'm not mad at him. He's just a big fucking dude. And he like literally like poured into my seat next to me. And it, it's a fight. The only thing I've been doing this whole time is fucking popping pain pills and sleeping. So,
Yeah.
needless to say, I slept on this dude because there was nowhere else to go. So either fall out in the aisle or sleep on this guy, and he didn't push me. So I'm just like, on this big guy who's just sliding me away. So,
Did you have to get up and
Airplane-wise-
walk at any point? Like around the plane? I heard that's a thing for long flights. Like, is that?
Oh,
Did you have
yeah.
to do that?
on the
Yeah.
20-hour trip, yeah, dude, there were people just doing circles, walking around the shit. Like you see people just. I've never seen like his Asian family. It looks like they brought fucking like a meal and almost just like broke it out on the plane. It's like what the. Had food and shit set out for each other,
Yeah.
little bowls and passing around and shit. I'm like, but yeah. The beauty of it is, at least it was in the 21st century. I think it was 2011, 2012. So
Yeah.
I got to catch up on a lot of Marvel movies at that point because I'd only seen like Iron Man 1 and 2. I got to watch like both the Thors. I think the first Avengers was up, first Captain America. So had that going for me.
Yeah, that sucks. That really blows the dick, though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what keeps me from traveling like
imagine
to
that.
Asia. I really want to go to Europe. I really want to go to Asia, but like I don't like being on an hour flight. So like I'll stay up like this recent one for work. I stayed up. It was National Margarita Day or whatever. So I went and had like 6 margaritas and woke up at midnight. And I was supposed to be at the airport at 6, and I'm like, I can't sleep, bro. I slept for like 3 hours. I'm like, yep, this is it. There's no way I'm gonna be able to sleep. So that's the only thing on planes that saves me is like psychosis, just needing to pass out.
You know, like I say, I know it's not as easy as it used to be, but it's a great thing if you get a hold of your doctor. Like, hey, dude, I got a lot of pain. I got to be on a plane for several hours. Like, I got you. Like, I don't care so much about the numbing. I just need something to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah, nice.
But either way, This sets us up for the real adventure that we want to talk about this week. One of the most bestest and beautifulest ever adventures that I'd ever taken in my life. One that I take every so often. This week I want to talk about The Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Again, there'd be fanfare here and all that, but we're working on a production budget here, folks. Start out with a couple simple things here. Legend of Zelda was released in Japan in February of 1986. It was released on the Famicom disk system, so this was actually created for a floppy disk that came out on the Famicom, which then took about a year for it to get over here to America, where it was released in July of 1987 with a battery installed inside the cartridge, which allow you to save your game. I think it's the first one Nintendo actually ever released. Actually, at this point, it's still early enough. I think that Nintendo was using black cartridge games only, and then you hit a couple silver cartridge games, but this cartridge was gold, the box was gold, and it's one of only 2 officially licensed Nintendo games for the NES that were gold. The other one, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Of course, this was developed by Nintendo, R&D 4, published by Nintendo, and it's considered an action-adventure game. Some people consider it an RPG, not so much because you get points, but you do have to upgrade yourself with hearts and different things like that. So,
fair.
Excuse me. But basically, the idea of this game is a tyrant by the name of Ganon has previously plundered a land and taken the Triforce of Power, a triangle relic that was part of the Golden Triangle, possessing mystical powers. He then made his way towards peaceful land of Hyrule to take over the Triforce of Wisdom, which at the time was in the possession of Princess Zelda. Keep Ganon from being able to possess the power of the Wisdom Triforce, Zelda split the Triforce in 8 pieces and then hid them all across the realm. She also instructed her nursemaid Impa to search the lands for a man who had the courage to destroy the evil Ganon. This journey has led her to a boy named Link, who had made an appearance by saving Impa from a band of creatures from Ganon's army. She filled him in on all his exposition and prepared him for his call to adventure, to gather the pieces of the Triforce of Wisdom and save Zelda from the clutches of Ganon. I mean, that's basically your rundown of this. I will point out that this game only mentions 2 Triforces, and I mentioned Courage twice only because later on the Triforce Courage helps build the 3rd piece of the Triforce. So just to throw that out there on you. But so I've got 30 years experience on this, so I've got all kinds of shit I could say about it. But let's not talk about me. Aiden, what's your first impression of The Legend of Zelda?
First impression, this truly is, by the way, my first impression. I've never played any Legend of Zelda game in my life. I knew the music from just the culture zeitgeist of how popular this game was and how much it influenced the gaming music in general. But I mean, this game is very different. I'd be lying if I say for the first hour of playing it, I wasn't running around like just killing shit, not knowing what to do. But yeah, I mean, this game, first impression, very very interesting, very different. It's one of those games that kind of brings me to Metal Gear a little bit, for just like the walking around the map in different stages and kind of figuring out puzzles and what to do for each stage. But yeah, I mean, I not a whole lot to say right now other than it's very unique. It's refreshing. I know we say that a lot, but it truly is. It's a different game. And as Larry told me, as the story that Larry just said, it's my first time hearing that as well. So it definitely adds some context and story that would help the experience as well. But yeah, I like the game. I thought it was very fun.
Well, like I said, I'm glad that you found it something new, something good. How about you, C? How did this hit you?
Ironic enough, similar to Aiden, I want to say I might have played a Zelda game once. Couldn't name what console, couldn't name when, couldn't name how old I was, but I remember it striking me as difficult. Obviously Zelda's a huge icon. I was actually really excited to get into this. It just intro, I mean, the music slaps you. Maybe it was my speaker was up really loud, and maybe that's why it knocked me out of my chair. But yeah, music snags you early, so that was cool. I was kind of excited. I'm not really an adventure game type of person, especially when it comes to older adventure games, because be real, they're a lot better now than they were. Definitely a lot of excitement. It had me kind of on the edge of my seat, ready to go, and I think that's really what jumped at me first. Is I was kind of excited to dive into the adventure of the game rather than normally be like, what's the fastest path? Like I was actually excited to get in a little exploring, a little adventure time with it, if you will. So it was cool to me. Give me 30 years of first impressions here.
Well, my brother bought this. Again, I have an older brother who, again, paler and uglier than I am. I will always say that because he's agreed to that in documentation that he's the ugly one. But either way, um, he bought this with his own money. He'd worked and got all that. And I think at the time it was a $60 game. So props to him because he busted his ass to get this game. And every Nintendo game was gray, had its picture, but this was gold and just so different, so everything. But now, like I say, I want to sell it to you guys just a little bit here again because of how we're going through it and what we're able to do. When you got this box, one, like I say, it was a total moment of awe, especially since none of the other games have ever been like this. It came with the instruction book, which basically the synopsis I gave you was a 6 to 8 page story in the original book, which I condensed for you. It gave you how to. It also came with a map. And on the outside of this map, it said, "Do not open until very necessary." And the idea of this, with Shigeru Miyamoto, who did create this and went through this course, he wanted you to explore. He wanted you to figure things out. He wanted you to try different things, and that's what this game's set up for. Now, back in the day, like I said, we probably had 3-4 Nintendo games that we could play with. This was maybe like the 5th one in the thing, which was his, so I didn't get to play it. I just got to watch. But, I mean, you went through, you burned every bush. You tried to find every bomb you could find or buy every bomb you could and blow up every wall. He did, I do remember him opening up the map at some point, which only gave you maybe a third of the map anyways. And then you had to draw or fill in the rest of the grid to kind of help fill out your own map. It was just so vast, and I think even today it's really, compared to some other games, even newer Zelda games, it's not vast. But when you stop to think about it in its own little bubble, it is. It's really huge because there's no platform aspect where you either go right or left. You go 4 different directions, and even through some points, you have to go through multiple screens just to get to the next spot. You have to figure out where you're at and why you're going through these things. And then you have to find items that unlock other spots. So to me, it was. This one's a little more controlled than the rest, but it's a vast adventure that's at your fingertips that you can go through. I will say, yes, I did stream this. I played it online, which you can watch on our YouTube channel. I knocked this out in about 2.5 hours. But again, that's my years of experience making sure I wanted to play it and just kind of run through it to some degree. I didn't 100% it. I did die twice. But again, that's all my experiences going through it, and it's kind of just out there. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the gameplay on how it moves. It does feel a little loose, especially when you're trying to pick directions, fighting characters or fighting mobs and different bosses and stuff. But I guess I'll ask you, CD, how did it feel to play this game? What did it feel like to you to be Link?
I'm glad you can crush my soul because I was actually kind of loose is a good word, but I actually really enjoyed the mechanics of it. I was a little scared going into it that compared to modern day adventures, that it wasn't going to be great movement wise, but no, it did what I told it to, and it wasn't delayed, and it felt like free directional movement. If you're better than me, you probably could have whipped around and blocked some attacks quicker than me. But the ability was there, just the player, as in me, wasn't up to par. But I mean, it movement wise, it was surprisingly nice, honestly. I think even the patterns of the enemies, other than some of them were fucking annoying. Don't get me wrong, but It felt really smooth, surprisingly, which is one thing. Like I said, it definitely caught me by surprise. I didn't expect it to be silky smooth like a tub of butter, if you will. But it was pleasantly surprising. I loved the way I moved. I the panel shifting, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. When you would go from like one screen to another, it
Mhm.
didn't feel overly smooth. Where some games you do that, and then the mobs are kind of already coming at you before you get a chance to see what the hell you're looking at. It was like perfect timing. It gave you just enough time to go on to the next thing. All the attacks from the enemies were really smooth. I really, yeah, no, the movements, graphics, and everything, the gameplay of it made me pleasantly surprised. It was definitely a good surprise. So I like it. Aiden, back me up. Don't say everything I just said.
Well, I agree with everything you just said, and to say everything you just no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think the movement felt good. I feel like a lot of the problems with some of these older NES games, especially those of the '80s before late NES stages, the aerial movement was one of the downfall where there's no directional movement. And once you jump, you just have to keep on going because you can't move until you land. Like it's like that in like Ninja Gaiden. Like you jump and you can't like strafe back after you already jump. And this doesn't have that aerial movement. It doesn't feel as clunky. It feels responsive. I'm a sucker for some good mechanics, and definitely for the time, the mechanics felt smooth. I like Link shooting the sword, and you can get if you get good
Yeah.
at blocking, it's really cool. I mean, the bow and the boomerang. The boomerang's my favorite. You can kill the bats and shit with the boomerang, but you can also stun everything. And if you're full health, you can throw the boomerang and shoot your sword at the same time. So that felt pretty smooth as well. But a little bit of and sometimes in the dungeons, a little bit of lag when transitioning from screen to screen. And if there's too many people or too many enemies on the screen, a little bit of lag. But again, that's just I'm nitpicking. I'm finding something not to like about it. But yeah, overall, it felt smooth.
Well, I mean, it's got early polish on it, like I said, and I think part of it
Yeah.
was the ability to go from the Famicom and jump back over. Because truthfully, when you look at it, I've watched a couple of things where the difference on the Famicom version versus Nintendo one, because it was on a cartridge versus being on a disc, it actually plays faster in the American version. I guess they
Okay.
had more load issues going on over there with screens loading up. Their soundtrack's supposed to be a little bit better, but um, it does, and like I say, I'm glad you brought that up, CJ. 'Cause actually, I didn't think about it. It is very broken up into a grid. Some things you can move a little bit. No, everything's pretty much one screen. You do what's
Yeah.
there, and you go to your next screen. But it doesn't feel like that so much. Maybe except
Yeah.
outside of the dungeons,
Yeah.
because you have to, you're moving across the map. It loads up something that has to happen. So, um, I'm with you. Like I say, I've played this Nintendo. I've played this on everything. I'm a little upset because I wanted to bring out I actually have a Game and Watch, which is a little thing. It's probably about the size of a credit card, maybe your wallet, and has this Zelda 2, a Game and Watch game on it. And I wanted to show you that I've played this so much that all three of my save files on there are actually beaten, as well as like say on every cartridge I have and everything else on my. I played this once this week on my Switch, and I actually had to play it on someone else's profile because my 3 saves on it were already beaten. I do love this game, and there's a lot of reasons to it, and I think a lot of it can be the beauty of it, the way it looks. It looks good, it plays well. You do get a little bit of lag in dungeons, but just because there's a lot of shit happening.
Yeah. Fair.
But I think it does well, especially when you can see what everything is supposed to be. The only thing that I think that's hard to make out, which you guys may or may not know, when you first walk into a dungeon, you'll see these little blue things, the blocks you can't walk through on each side. Those are
Yeah.
actually statues.
Assumed, but yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't jump out as much, but I mean, to myself, like I say, you had the bats, which are called geese and all this. Yeah, they came up with their own names for this stuff, but I think that goes a long way in it. How about you, eh? How did you feel about what you seen? Did it work out for you?
Yeah, I thought the graphics were good, especially for this style of game. Sometimes the graphics can be hard to portray since you're looking at it from an aerial view.
Hmm.
Sometimes some of the enemies are hard to or how to actually come through, and you can tell what they are. But I feel like it did well. I mean, it definitely you could. A lot of it was 8-bit, but that's to be expected. I feel like the statues. For the ones that you touch and they move, I could tell they were statues. The snakes or the ropes, as they call them, I believe.
Yeah.
You can tell they're snakes. Same with the bats. The bosses. I don't quite. Some of the bosses were a little confusing. I could tell what the dinosaur was, but that one reoccurring boss with the 4 wings that you got to destroy. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, it's actually like just some sort of weird plant, but yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a weird. I couldn't
It-
exactly tell what that was, or if it was just something that they came up with, which it seems that it is what they came up
Yeah.
with.
It's
But
it's, it's
yeah, I
almost
mean,
like a four mouth Venus flytrap kind of thing.
yeah, I like the different areas and different biomes. Uh, the different biomes actually it helps. This might probably should have been in my last answer. I forgot to mention it, but I like how the different biomes. You kind of create a map in your head. For like, oh,
Mhm.
I know I'm in this
Yeah.
biome. I know I'm in this part of the map. It That really helps as well. But yeah, I thought the design looked good. Nothing jumping out at me, but yeah, it was good. Nothing negative either.
How about
Yeah,
you, C? What do you got?
yeah. Fair points. Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of touching in, I guess, graphically, just the way, like I said earlier, the way that you move, and even the way that the enemies move, super clean. It really wasn't that bad. I was kind of, like I said, excited, but at the same time, maybe anxious, nervous, a little combination. Wasn't sure. Like I said, I've touched Zelda maybe once. It was definitely later, but I couldn't tell you when. Kind of looking at it, I was scared, knowing what it was gonna be, but pleasant surprise, like you guys said. I mean, a lot of the stuff you really could tell what it was. There's a couple off things, like the statues. Like I assume they were statues, but yeah, like it kind of almost just looked like what I would guess the statue was. If you would have told me it was something else, would have believed you. You could be lying right now that they're statues. I would have got. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, it really was pretty clear what everything was. Um, it was clean movements graphically. Like, you guys said, little hiccups with a lot of mobs in the dungeons, but like, even as annoying as the fish dude that shot fucking fireballs at you were, they were clean fireballs. You know what I mean? Like, it was a clean, clear directional shot every time, which is sometimes rare. Sometimes when it like flashes out and glitches as it's coming at you, that's fucking annoying. Not really something you saw in this game. So, graphics get a star, a gold star from me. 2 thumbs up. I was pleasantly surprised again. So might be a reoccurring theme here.
Well, it's 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 hard to say bad things again. I'll upsell the idea only again, like I say, because this came out in '86, fairly late in the Japanese side of the Nintendo system, fairly early on the American side. But compared to a lot of the other games that were out there, it looked good. I mean, you look at it, you look up an 8-bit Link, and you see what he is, but in the world that he is, he belongs there. And
Yeah.
like I say, and outside of the fantastic creatures that they had, you could tell what they were. You could tell the water was water, bushes were bushes. I mean, it was all done well, and I give them props on taking the time to keep it simple and but yet make it beautiful. Um, Now we'll turn over the page to the soundtrack because I know we did talk about that a little bit before we got started here, but let's nerd out and we'll talk about this. I'm stuttering and only because I can't remember the name of the damn song that the guy was trying to do. They were going to use a classical piece, and I guess in Japan that they were allowed to your trademark or your copyright runs out 50 years after you die. And they were going to use this classical piece as being the main theme for this song. And right as they're getting to the point of printing it, they found out that the guy had only been dead for 49 years and 11 months at the time of printing. So they couldn't legally use this without paying his estate. So
Okay.
the damn it, I always lose his name. The great composer for Nintendo who does the Mario, does all those.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fill it in here. He created the Zelda theme that's stuck in your head in one night.
Koji Kondo. That
Yes,
man right
yes.
there. Yes.
But he created it and used it and made a excellent piece of music that it's I actually for a long time used to wake up to this um different renditions of it, whether it be 8-bit, the classical
That's a good
rendition.
wake up.
Oh, it's an adventure of getting you going. Problem was I did it during the time in my life where waking up took 45 minutes to do, and my wife and kids were like, I hate this song. So we switched it over to Sweet Child of Mine, and now they can't stand the slash out of the solo of that. But how about you, CJ? What do you feel about the music that you did get to hear on this?
Dude, it's awesome. The original soundtrack is just so iconic, deep rooted. Actually, my girlfriend's favorite YouTuber. It's his intro is like kind of a little snippet of it. And hell, even just months back of her watching the YouTuber, it's getting stuck in my head. I mean, just hearing it in its classic form is perfect. It's so catchy. Like I mentioned to you guys when I first picked up the game today, unfortunately, where I was traveling. Played it for 20 minutes at first, and it's stuck in my head the rest of the day at work. You know, after my lunch, all I could hear is do do do. I just kept hearing it in my head. It's amazing. It's really good, and honestly, something to kind of also give credit on the noise specifically of the white sword when you shot it. Had some bass to it. It had a nice, it was a clean noise. I mean, that thing. It was kind of like the equivalent of sitting at the movie theater, like you said, with the Phantom Menace and the sound come behind you, dude. Well, I mean, it had a nice sound to it. It's crisp, and God, I can't get that song out of my head. And definitely a future theme with Zelda songs. Sometimes Ocarina of Time gets stuck in my head, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, never played a Zelda game other than maybe an hour max in my life. And there are songs from games I've never opened in my life that are stuck in my head. You're obviously doing something right, Koji here. Come on, I mean, home run after home run, you can count on this guy. I mean, truthfully.
Yeah, he's earned his monies 10 times over and probably should have had more, but
Yeah.
that's a whole weird thing that they don't do in Japan. So, but what do you got to say about it, eh? What's your take on any of the music that you've heard and sounds?
This might be some of my favorite music from a game that we've heard so far, for sure. If not, it's definitely in the running. The themes were just great. The dungeon theme
Yes,
alone
good
was
point.
very good as well. Even even the sound design, as simple as if you find a secret door, or if you find a secret ladder going down, even the sound that makes, or the sound when you die, or when you kill a boss, or when you find a piece of the little triangle, forget what it's called, or
Triforce.
after you complete it. Yeah, after you find a piece of the Triforce after you beat a dungeon, even that sound alone. So it's not just the music is great. Don't get me wrong, it's incredible, but it's not just that. It's just the sound design of everything that comes together. Got a little visitor here, but
Yeah.
just the sound of everything coming together is it's just amazing. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say. It's one of those games where you can truly just appreciate the sound, and you can listen to it aside from the game. Even if you don't have time to go check out this game, just hop on YouTube and check out the soundtrack. I mean, it's definitely worth it. I mean, you've definitely heard a lot of them before because they're so iconic.
Oh, definitely. I think if you played any Nintendo game somewhere, you've heard some of this a little bit here and
Yes.
there.
If you're a
Um,
Nintendo fan, I'd go to say, you know what I mean? Like, if you just are like the idea of Nintendo, you had to have heard it.
Very likely. I mean, very likely. I know, still to this day, I'm trying to do the math. I guess this is roughly almost 40 years. They've been pushing out Legend of Zelda stuff, so it fights its
Yeah.
place now. Um, again, just another nerd moment throwing it in the information. At one point, they wanted this game to be the launch title for Nintendo.
Makes
But they
sense.
felt like it was a little more complex than they wanted to really start with. So that's why
Also makes
we got
sense.
Mario, which is still an excellent choice because I think that's a pick up and play for everyone. But this one here is it's not a pick up and play, but it's definitely you've got to be more gaming. I don't
Inclined.
say
Almost.
intuitive, but yeah, you want to game a little harder than pick up and play Mario can be. So, but
Yeah. Have to be a
I don't know.
gamer.
Somewhat, I think. Like I said, I think if you
Yeah.
can enjoy adventure and you can really get into it, it's a little cryptic. No, that's the one thing I think
Yes.
that's hard to put out there. But again, back in the '80s, you had nothing else to go on. You only had a handful of games to play, and this was something great to beat into you. So, but Aiden, what what do you find to be, we'll say, either your favorite, your least favorite? What did you enjoy? What did you disenjoy about this?
Uh, I really liked. I liked the exploring aspect. I did not like it at first, just
Mhm.
because I coming into this game. Just to give you a little background, I had no clue. I didn't know if this was going to be just like a left or right screen platformer where you jump over shit. I had no clue what this was going to be. So I was walking around and I had no clue what I was doing. But as get you kind of get it down, it's definitely more intriguing, and I can see myself, uh, especially if I was in that time frame playing this hours and hours and hours. We talk about Larry. He said he beat it in a couple hours. Uh, you got to realize we're playing one game a week here, so we're not dropping 10 hours per game. But I mean, I played this game for a good 5 hours, and I believe I'm only halfway done. So there's a lot to this game. You definitely get your money's worth. Uh, and it brings me it's kind of similar to one of my favorite games called Elden Ring. It actually some of the comparisons were so some of the comparisons that I noticed in the game were so similar to Elden Ring. It was crazy. Like in Elden Ring, there's these walls that you smack with a sword. There's secret walls you smack with a sword and it disappears and you can go into like a different little room or a different little dungeon. It's there's definitely a lot of parallels there. Don't know if there's some inspiration, but it reminds me of that a lot. I like the dungeons. I feel like some of the bosses were very easy. Maybe later in the game that I didn't get to, they got increasingly harder. But yeah, that's what I like on the enjoy side of things. Some of the things that I did not enjoy were a little bit of lag here and there for just from the game perspective and game design perspective, a little lag here and there. But an enemy that I did not like that made me want to break my Switch that I was playing on the whole time was those fucking
Right.
water cannons that are just harassing you the entire time you're playing the game. Like, bro, get on with your life, water cannon, shooting those fireballs at you that you can't block until you got like a special shield, and you can't kill until you got a sword. Like, bro,
Hey, get
they're
your
just
money up, not your
harassing you.
funny up. Come on, buy that big shield. Money up, not your funny up.
I did eventually, but even then, it's still hard to block when you have the shield. I mean, I'm not that
Not
good.
me. Not
You,
me.
you got a lot of shit going on, and then that thing's over there shooting at you. It's just
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely one of those things that kind of get to you and piss you off a little bit,
yeah, for
if not a
sure.
lot, I guess. How about you,
Yeah,
C?
no problem.
What's your likes, what your loves, what your hates, man? What you got?
I'd say my biggest. I'll start with my gripes. It's just, like I said, I've never been big on adventure games. Man, I was getting lost. I had to phone a friend, Coach Larry, in the house. Shout out, Coach Larry. Might have ran from, I don't know, Las Vegas to Denver, going right over and over and over. And Coach Larry said just go left once, and it solved my problem. So that was awesome. That took a nice 20 minutes of what the fuck is going on. Down right, nothing's working. Maybe a little user error, maybe debatably, but um, adventure games I tend to get lost, and sometimes it'll throw me off of kind of my main objective. It turns out I was also on Dungeon 5 with 4 hearts. Rough battle there.
And the wood sword.
Yeah, and a wood sword. So I mean, with
No
no
shield.
bombs, no shield, no bombs. So, um, yeah, that part is always something in adventure games that hurts me. But like I said, maybe a little user error, debatably. Um, my favorite part, other than the sounds, I can't compliment the sounds enough. I do think the little secrets are really cool. That's something that definitely I'd say, first of its time. And it gives you, like Aiden said, bang for your buck. That kind of gives you a lot of it because even if you streamline and try to go just main path, I mean, there's so many unturned tunnels and secret passages, ladders, stuff like that. I mean, putting the bomb up on the spot or like a wall spot, it's kind of funny because walking past it, it almost looks like something should be there. bomb goes there, boom, you go in. Really like that. Normally not something I love because I got to YouTube it to figure it out, and maybe Coach Larry, phone a friend, helps out. But a really cool concept. I wish as a young kid I could have kind of went to that fantasy world of it earlier in my life. Really like that. And one other thing, way more minor. Some of the dudes in the secret caves, the little bulldogs, totally pissed off for whatever reason. To me, they're hilarious. They're sitting there, two middle fingers up, is what it looks like to me. Just menacingly, like, you found a secret that nobody knows about, and they're kind of maybe being a little petty, a little passive aggressive, mad at you for finding it. But
Which is, this is a secret to everybody.
yeah, and not you now, Link. So he's kind of pissed at you, is how I took it. But the secret passages in general were really cool. Dungeons were a nice touch too. I did like the dungeons. To throw something else on there, those were cool. Like the concept of it. I like the music of it. The whole theme of it was really cool there too. So big fan of that. Larry, after 30 years though, favorite thing.
I mean, I'm trying really hard not to deep throat this, but I really just want to go balls deep on it. And I'm gonna say it like that because I love this game. I really do. It's so good. It's just so good. I love the music. I love the way it comes together. I love the way that it makes you feel like you're in the adventure. I do, like I say, even with me not speed running it, I did learn from speedrunners to be more efficient in it. But I learned there's things that you can do better. This time was actually the one I streamed was the first time I got all 16 hearts. That's because of something I'd watched probably about a week ago that made me think, well, shit, I never thought about doing it that way. And I was able to get a little more ahead on it. I've played it to the point which I helped you, CJ, get through it. You can go through the first. Well, I'm saying you can venture from the beginning of the game to the first dungeon and do nothing more than get in there with 3 hearts and a handful of coins. And it's not abnormal to do that. On the same token, I can get to the point where I go in there with 6 hearts, a white sword, a magical shield, and a blue ring, which cuts your hurt points in half. With the potion and all that, and just walk through that. That's 30 years experience. That's watching other people do it. That's, all those different things. But to me, the adventure's still sweet. You still have to do it. And I would say, if you have the opportunity, watch a walkthrough on this, because that's just where we're at. We ain't got time to give 100 hours to a game. But you still play it because you will feel the adventure and you'll have to do it, which it feels very rewarding to do so through this game, which I think is a great trait that it has. Only complaint I have, or only thing I dislike about this game, I cannot think of the name of the dragon, but there's a dragon that sits up top. I think you came across him, I think maybe level 2 or 3, and he has like 2 heads.
Yeah, the double-headed one.
Yeah. Well, the second time you run across him, he has 3. And by level 7, I think it's got like 4 or 5. And I hate that fucking thing. And they actually still have that exact same dragon in clear up to the point of the Tears of the Kingdom. And I've never killed one of those in that game. Because that thing is just huge with multiple things and all that.
Oh shit, more than one head.
Yeah,
Talk about it.
Yeah, and they're just tough. I mean, just ridiculously tough. It'll kill you to no end. But so from the very first one till the most recent one, I wish I could think of that dragon's name is, but fuck him. That's all I got. Fuck him. I don't want to draw the picture for you guys. I want you to tell me from what you were able to get in. Again, like I said, I know, like Aiden said, we crush these out so we can do some episodes, get some content going for everybody. From the time that you put in, what do you think? What's your final thought on this as we stand right now? CJ, sell me. Go.
For sure. I wish I was better at it, first off. It's a really cool concept. I never, like I said, never really played a Zelda game. Never, I guess, thought I'd be into it. I don't know why. Probably because I'm just bad at adventure games. I get lost. I get confused. The Pokemon Arceus that came out a few years back, when I picked it up, I was so excited. It's kind of adventure-y, and I dropped it. And a reoccurring theme for me, but this game might have maybe the simplicity of it kind of draws me into it more. I wish I could have played it more. I wish I had taken something to play it on while I was out of town. Honestly, it would have been really, really fun. I mean, man, it's a really solid game that I wish I had more time with. It drew me in, and it makes me more intrigued in the series itself. I mean, everybody knows, who Link is. If you don't know that Zelda is not Link, or I guess Link is not Zelda, maybe we got some bigger fish to fry here. But yeah, it's a game I want to spend more time with, and definitely a franchise I want to spend more time with. It seems like a great intro to adventure games for me personally, which fair enough. It's probably where a lot of people did start, was this very cartridge or disc, probably is where a lot of people's adventures first started and where they continued, in your case, Larry, for 30 years of the same adventure that somehow is sweet and fresh every single time. I mean, it's definitely it's something I want to get further into. You guys hit a lot of great points. I mean, the dungeons, the sounds, there's not much of this game that pushes you away, especially knowing that the franchise is as big as it is. In my opinion, closing thoughts on it is just there's no reason for me not to pick this back up at some point, at least a different game in the franchise. And I guess while I'm talking about it so much, will I play it again? I do plan on playing more of this. I want to play more of this. It definitely, Larry, rewarding was a good way to put it, even though I didn't do a ton. Once I did figure at least out some simple things even on my own without Coach Larry in the building, it was nice. It was rewarding. It really draws me back to playing it again. So I'm going to have to return 100%. Definitely return. And Aiden, don't copy me again.
A little hard going second, but I will say I did enjoy this game. It's a good game. I'm usually the type of person that likes for the NES in particular, I like kind of more a linear side scroller kind of set up to where you're supposed to go and everything. But this one, surprisingly, it worked really well for me. I am a fan of adventure games like Elden Ring and some other games. Sorry to say it again, but I'm a fan of. But I feel like this kind of ties into that same game type. I like the exploring, the different. You kind of have to put two and two together. There's some puzzles you have to solve. There's some bosses, and game mechanics are really cool. The sound design's sweet. The music is badass. I mean, you look up any list of the top NES games, it's going to be Legend of Zelda or Super Mario Bros. 3 at the top. And that's just what it is. It's kind of crazy that these are back to back on the VGR podcast. It just lets you know how fire we're coming out right now.
Oh, yeah.
At least two of us,
yeah,
man.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, this game is really good. I put about 4 hours into it. I got about halfway done, maybe a little over half. But yeah, I mean, this game was sweet. I'll come back to it for sure. I'd play it again, and I mean, it got my recommendation. I mean, this is a foundation for a franchise that is ever expanding. I mean, the most recent games that are coming out are being rated some of the highest games of all time, Zelda games, and it's really nice for people that have played those games that haven't played the original. Check out the foundation of what the franchise was built on, and yeah, I mean, I recommend it. I'd play it again.
Like
Okay.
that.
Well,
I bet Larry would never play this game again in his life from the sounds
Yeah.
of it. He probably
Nope,
hates this game.
I've hit my max. I'm good. I will start with where Aiden said. This is the beginning of something just ridiculously huge. I should have looked to see how many Legend of Zeldas there are. But I can say from my own
17
personal...
now, I think. Could be wrong.
Well, I'd say I know I've played the two on the Nintendo. I've played the one on the Super Nintendo. I've played the ones on the Game Boy. Played ones on the Game Boy Advance. I've played the ones on the Wii. I've played the ones on the Switch. I played the one on the Wii U. The Skyward Sword. I've played and beat both the Breath of the Wild and the Tears of the Kingdom.
It's
Part of
29.
this,
Yeah, I was way wrong. You beat. No. Once you start giving that quick, I was like, wait a minute. I started sweating. I'm like, okay.
yeah, there's a shit ton of them, and I don't know if my drive for this is part of the I looked up to my brother that he introduced me to this kind of thing, or I just seen something that this is the kind of game I like. Which is strange because, like I said, as I said early on and through a lot of things, I'm more of the no conditional win kind of game guy. But this here, it's just I don't know. It's so rewarding. It's all that. I know that once we go through our next season of this, or if I get a chance to roll a dice and pick something, expect
Yeah.
to see more. Because I think the story wise it needs it. You guys need it to help understand it. Because um, honestly, as many times as I've beaten this one, I think the one on Super Nintendo's probably better. Maybe we'll talk about that someday. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Um, but for this itself, it's a really good game. But now I will say, in behalf of Aiden and his mindset, this is arguably one of the first open world games because you can go through it and almost play it how you want. Like I say, you can start and go through World 1 right out the gate, or you can build up to get to that point. And even then, you can jump around through levels. It does level lock you a little bit with the ladder and the raft in the middle of the game. But once you've achieved that, then you can pretty much go anywhere you think you can go and give it a shot. So it does have that. But now, 2 is a little more linear. The ones on the Game Boy are very much more linear. And I think the one on Super Nintendo, it's open world, but on the same token, you have to accomplish things to unlock the next thing. So
Which is,
I'd
yeah,
say
that's
it's pretty
fair.
linear. And it gives you a map that says basically go here, which is something this
Okay.
one kind of misses to some degree. But I don't know. Like I said, I can't sing enough praise for this game. So yes, on all tokens of it, watch a playthrough, get a guide, but play it. You can't be disappointed for folks who feel like, well, it may be cheating. It's not. It's a cryptic game that was designed to make you talk to your friends about it, to share ideas, share notes, share thoughts. Hey, I did this, try this out. We don't have that luxury anymore. So, watch something that'll tell you how to do it, or try it out, and then if you get stuck, try to see what you need to do to get through that, which I would say use a walkthrough at that point. But it's a good game, and yes, I have to go through a couple different things that my daughter's graduating this year. That's also why I need to find my Game and Watch
Yeah,
because I will be
forgot about
sitting at a reward ceremony playing Legend of Zelda, which I've been known to do already through three to four different ones we've had. So
That's good. That is good. I can believe that. I mean, I get it. There's not really a ton of kids you care about graduating. It's maybe a couple on top of one. I get it. Yeah, I can
hey,
understand that.
I will put it down and pay attention when she's walking. But while
Yeah,
some guy who I have no idea who the hell he is or why he's talking to me for 30 minutes while the air conditioning don't work, I'm
yes.
playing fucking Zelda.
Great point. Yeah, no, great point. Great point. I kind of skipped over, so before I guess we get to the nitty gritty big stuff, you gotta play it. Especially if you don't like adventure games, I'd almost say play it more. Like I said, I'm a hater. I'm a certified professional hater. I got an ID card that says hater. But on the other hand, Kyle turned me on to adventure games. So like I said, I'm coming back, and if I'm coming back to it with my skill level and my tolerance for adventure games, you gotta give it a try. Like, come on, people, what are we doing? If
Yeah,
I
you
can, you can.
just go for it. NES. If you appreciate adventure games, go to the roots. Check out some of these games that started it all. And I will say, as someone that didn't even attend their own graduation, if I think I have to attend my sister's college graduation here soon. I might bring the Switch and play some Zelda.
There you go. There you
Fair
go.
enough. Fair enough.
All right, guys. Well, it's that time of the show where we're going to go out there and we're going to throw numbers around and see how wrong that Aiden can be with this. But I don't know. Let's start with Aiden. Let's see what you come up with, man. Let's see how you start this party.
I'm glad. If you picked me, I was gonna say he doesn't like going second, so let's just go ahead and let him speak.
I will say, I got a number in my head. Not like last time. The YouTube audio did not pick it up, but I'm going to give it a solid 8.9 out of 10. That's my rating.
8.9 out of 10. Okay.
Read it and weep,
that's-
he says. Read it and weep.
Read and weep.
Elaborate.
fair.
Come on now.
Hey, game's great, music's great. Foundation, I already pretty much said all of it on my final thoughts, but say it again. Game's gate. Gotta come back to it. Okay, I'm trying not to find stuff that I've already said, but yeah, I'm gonna just play this game. It's a good game. Now, CJ, you go second this time.
It's somewhere between 1 and 10 to foreshadow a little bit. It's in there in that range. No, honestly, I obviously made it a little less far as you guys. I was actually texting Larry bright and early that I had to work today and I was kind of pissed because I wanted to play Zelda. Might have watched a little video in the background or so. Who knows? Maybe did, maybe didn't. Can't confirm. But like I said, I got my little first fix at lunch and I played a good bit after. I'm gonna come back to it, and I think there's a little room for potential. It's like when you're rating a rookie player in a sports league. Gotta go ahead and give it an 8.5. I might have not got to experience every blissfulness of it, but I know that there's more there, and it's gonna be on the returner list. I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be on the sticky note. That's for sure. I like it. It was cool. It definitely was cool. Like Aiden said, not to copy him. Sound first and foremost. It sucks to play a game with a shit soundtrack and shit noises. The opposite of that. Even if this game was bad, you could probably push through it for 2 hours just based on the soundtrack. So the fact that it's good too, yeah, good luck. Yeah, you don't have to pull me to the couch to play. You have to pull me off the couch to get me to stop. Larry, if I happen to be around and at the graduation, I will be there with you then. If shit stain switch here can work, but if not, I might have to get on eBay and look for a pocket-sized Zelda machine.
You hear him out there, folks. The man's got to go to some ceremonies, help him out. He needs a Switch. I'm going to cut through the fluff. This is not my favoriteest game ever.
No.
But this is my favorite Nintendo game ever. So, I wanted to go perfect 10. And I think through it. I have no other choice but go ahead.
I just said go with your heart. Go with your heart, bro. Don't let us influence you. You got the most experience.
You don't. But I mean, it's in my heart, and as putting up against a Nintendo game for any, this is a perfect 10 to no degree. Yeah, there's lag. There's little things that piss you off, but it's so vast. It's so everything. I cannot say enough good stuff about this game. I do like Mario 3. I do like Mario Collection. But this one, it's just I try to get my kids to play it. I try to get I made you guys play it, so ha. But and I don't think you're disappointed, and that's the thing. I think if you give it a fair shot and you play it, you will get hooked into it. You'll understand why Zelda is such a huge thing that everybody waits for. And this is just the initial building block of it. I just think that it is a very good game, and to me, it is the best one that is on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Period.
I mean, yeah, like I said, my score has room for improvement. That's just off my impressions that I've beaten about half the game so far. I mean, but it really says a lot. In the section where we were trying to find negative things about the game, the only thing that I could say was it's a little laggy, which even in late stage NES games, you still have that. And other than that, it was just some annoying creatures. I mean, and that speaks volumes when we're trying to find things that are wrong with it, and we don't really have nothing. So. Hey, I support your 10 out of 10. I think that's the first 10 out of 10 on the channel.
Absolutely is, and will be the last because Aiden's following us up next week. But that brings us to a whopping 9.1, which
Okay.
might sound disappointing in a way because we do have the highest score in all of history here. Larry couldn't take me beating it, or me doing it, then Aiden doing it right after. He said, "Oh, I know what's coming down the pipeline." He gives us the 10. 10 plus 8.9 plus 8.5 divided by 3. 9.1. This is a great VGR podcast game. And I mean, that at least lets me. That's all I want to say here. That's all I want to say here.
Well, there we go.
Had to
Oh,
get that out
okay.
of my system. You know what I mean? Just had to get that going there.
Sorry, it's there now, and I gotta go back over at least start it up again.
I just had to.
Again, like I said, I don't know how many million more things I could say about this, folks. If you've made it this far, thank you. Go play it. Go try it out. Find out what Legend of Zelda is about. Start here, because it's not like some games where you start at the beginning. It's like, oh, it's crap, and then figure it out until about 3 or 4 times into it. But it's simple. It's to the point. It's an open world adventure. You might need a little hand holding, and that's okay. This was
Yes, it
designed for you
is.
to talk to somebody about it.
Yes, it was.
So, with that, I will close this page and shut this down. But we're going to set up for something, and I'm going to turn it over to Aiden to tell us what that is.
Get ready, guys. You thought we were on a streak of good games with Super Mario Bros. 3, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania, Zelda. We're going to have an even better game coming up next week. We got Batman the video game on the NES. I don't really have experience for this game, so I'm just talking out of my ass, but it's going to be sick. You better check it out. Coming next week. You already know. We're coming out. Like I said earlier. We're coming out with some heat. Like I said earlier. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great episode next week. Batman the video game. Make sure to tune in for it. CJ, what do you got to tell our listeners?
I got to tell them a couple things. This time, my Kanye lyric of the week is a whole song. Go listen to Selah. That is Selah. There's a lot of people saying that he ripped off Zelda while creating the song with the choir. So you be the judge yourselves. If you have an opinion on it and you think he did rip it off, only one way for me to find out, for Aiden to find out, and Larry to find out. And that's either via comments on our social media or via email at vgrpodcast@gmail.com. And speaking of, like I said, if you want a question of the week that might be better than some of the ones that we've discussed off the pod, definitely also send us an email, vgrpod@gmail.com. We want to hear them. We want to bring them on. If you got a good question or maybe even a bad question, feature it now. Other than that, all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, find us. All of our YouTube pages on YouTube, find us. All of your favorite Spotify channels, Apple Music channels, any other podcast streaming service, find us. Got an Alexa? You know the drill. Told my mom about it today. She was mind blown. So go tell your Alexa what to play. Newest episode brought straight to you in great audio quality. We're not sponsored by Amazon, but if we were, we'd push this harder. Come find us anywhere you can. Like I said, shoot us an email, shoot us a text. Aiden's going to put his number out after this, and we're here for it. Find us next time when Aiden dresses up as Batman.
Folks, thank you so much for listening in. We do appreciate it. Like I say, this was Legend of Zelda, my favorite game ever. Hopefully one day it could be one of your alls too. But thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.